I want to ask you something, and I need you to answer honestly. You've been kind, you've been patient, you've been there for her. You listened, you supported her. You did everything the relationship advice columns told you to do. So why is she with someone who treats her like an option? This video isn't going to tell you to be mean to women. It's not going to tell you to play games. But it is going to tell you some things that are going to make you uncomfortable. Because if you're honest with yourself, you already sense that something in your approach isn't working, and you deserve to know why. Stay till the end, because the answer isn't what you think it is. I have a friend. His name is David, 31 years old, successful, thoughtful. The kind of guy who remembered her favorite coffee order, showed up when she was sick, never canceled plans. By every metric, a great partner. He told me, I gave her everything. I was the most present, most consistent person she'd ever had. And she left me for a guy who forgets her birthday. I asked him one question. In those 8 months together, did she ever feel like she might lose you? He paused, then said, No, she always knew I was there. And that's exactly the problem. Not his kindness, not his consistency, the fact that there was never any uncertainty, never any edge, never any moment where she had to wonder. Here's what nobody tells you about attraction. It is not a reward system. You don't earn it by accumulating good behavior points. Attraction is biochemical. It runs on dopamine, cortisol, norepinephrine, the same chemicals that activate when something is unpredictable, slightly risky, or emotionally intense. Kindness is comfortable, comfort is safe, and safety, as much as women say they want it, does not produce the physical sensation of attraction. It produces something else: appreciation, warmth, respect, all beautiful things. None of them are attraction. This isn't a criticism of women. This is just how human neurology works. We are wired to pursue what is slightly out of reach, what keeps us slightly on edge, what makes us feel something unpredictable. The man who is always available, always agreeable, always certain, removes all uncertainty from the equation, and uncertainty is the fuel. I want you to do something. Think of a woman you are attracted to right now. Could be someone you're dating, someone you know, anyone. Now answer these 3 questions honestly. Does she always know exactly where she stands with you? Do you agree with most things she says, even when you don't? Would she describe you as easy to read? If you answered yes to all 3, you already know why the attraction isn't where you want it to be. You are completely transparent, completely predictable, and predictability is the silent killer of desire. Ask any woman what she wants in a man. She will tell you, kind, caring, honest, stable, emotionally available, and she means it, every word of it. But here's the thing. What a person consciously values and what their nervous system responds to are 2 completely different systems, and they often contradict each other. A woman can genuinely value stability and still feel a stronger pull toward the man who creates emotional tension, not because she is broken, because her limbic system, the emotional brain, was wired long before her prefrontal cortex could articulate what a healthy relationship looks like. This is not about being toxic. This is about understanding that attraction is triggered below the level of conscious preference. You can be everything she says she wants and still produce 0 attraction if you don't understand what actually moves the needle neurologically. Now let's talk about the 3 invisible signals that every attractive man sends, usually without even knowing it. Signal 1. He has a direction that doesn't depend on her approval. The most attractive quality in a man is not confidence in the way it's usually described. It's not loud, it's not arrogant. It's this. He is moving somewhere. He has a purpose that existed before she arrived and will continue whether she stays or leaves. She can feel that her presence adds to his life, but doesn't define it. That distinction is everything. Signal 2. He is genuinely selective. The man who is attracted to every woman who gives him attention is paradoxically less attractive than the man who is clearly choosing. Women can sense when a man's interest is generic versus specific. When he chooses her deliberately, with standards, with discernment, that choice means something. When he would choose anyone who showed up, it means nothing. Signal 3. He can disappoint her and survive it. This one is the hardest. The man who cannot say no, who rearranges everything to avoid her disappointment, signals one thing. Her emotional state controls him. And a man who can be controlled by her emotions cannot lead, cannot protect, cannot provide the kind of emotional gravity that attraction requires. The man who can say, "I understand you're upset, and I'm still not changing my position," is terrifying and magnetic in equal measure. 3 weeks. That's how long it took for Marcus to completely change his dynamic with a woman he'd been orbiting for 4 months. He wasn't doing anything dramatic. He didn't disappear. He didn't become cold. He made 3 small adjustments. He stopped answering her texts within 60 seconds, not to play games, because he was genuinely busy building something. He started disagreeing with her opinions when he actually disagreed, instead of finding a way to validate everything she said. And he stopped asking her what she wanted to do. He started making plans and inviting her to join them. Her behavior changed within days. She started initiating. She started asking what he was up to. She told a mutual friend she couldn't figure him out. He didn't become a worse person. He became a more defined one. And definition, knowing who you are and acting from that place, is what attraction is actually responding to. There's a very specific pattern I see over and over, and I want to name it clearly so you can recognize it in yourself. It goes like this. A man meets a woman he's attracted to. Because he's attracted to her, he becomes slightly anxious. Because he's anxious, he starts over-accommodating. He's warmer than he'd normally be, more available than he'd normally be, more agreeable than he'd normally be. He thinks he's showing interest. He's actually showing need. And she can feel the difference. Interest is attractive. Need is a weight. The moment a woman feels like she's responsible for managing your emotional state, the dynamic shifts. She moves from potential partner to caretaker. And nobody is attracted to someone they feel responsible for. Now, what if you're already in the friend zone? First, the honest answer. If you've been in the friend zone for more than 3 months and nothing has shifted, the odds are not in your favor. I'd rather tell you that than waste your next year. But if it's early, here's what actually moves the needle. Stop being so available. Not because of strategy, because you should be genuinely investing that time in yourself. Start disagreeing. Start having opinions that don't bend to hers. Stop treating every conversation with her like an audition. The fundamental shift is this. Stop approaching her as someone you're trying to win over. Start approaching her as someone you're deciding whether to choose. That internal shift changes everything about how you show up. And how you show up is what she's responding to. So, what kind of man do women actually want? Not a bad man, not a man who treats her poorly. A man who is so clear on who he is and where he's going that her approval becomes a preference, not a requirement. A man who chooses her from a place of genuine selectivity, not desperation. A man whose life is full enough that her presence adds to it rather than completing it. That man is not cold. He is not a game player. He is just fully himself. And there is nothing more attractive on the planet than a man who is fully, unapologetically, himself. The work isn't learning how to act differently around women. The work is becoming someone you'd respect, with or without her watching.